Go.
Now, a second royal family member has been named as a racist in a Dutch translation of Omid Scobie's latest book, Endgame. Those copies, which were on sale in the Netherlands, are now being pulped.
Scobie says UK laws prevent him from naming the people Harry and Meghan accused of asking about Archie's skin colour in the English version, but he has also denied responsibility for the Dutch translation.
Yeah, royal biographer Angela Levin joins us now. Angela, you know, a bit of these excerpts from this book are being squeaked out in various newspapers. All of them are pretty unpleasant. I mean, they're hardly heartwarming character descriptions of most of the royal family. A lot of it stuff I think we've kind of read before. And now this, you know, apparently, oh, it's all accidental. I didn't put those names in that book, the advance copy that went to the Netherlands. That must have been lost in translation. How?
Well, it's absolute nonsense, isn't it? A lot of the book is absolute nonsense. You can't, a publisher doesn't publish things without checking it. It's all read by people who look through it, make sure it's all right, and if it needs to go to the lawyers and all that sort of thing. And he would have seen it very carefully. He would have read it even more carefully. And he can't wriggle out of that. How would they know anyway? Was the world told about it? No, of course not. And the whole nonsense about who hates black people and who doesn't is also ridiculous. There's one that hates them, and then 3 years later, up pops another one that hated them at the same time. When Harry came on and had his interview for his book, The Spare, he said Meghan never said anything like that. You know, it's the press that are saying all these terrible things, not Meghan. So the whole thing is a complete mess. And if you go through the book, I haven't gone through it entirely, but you can just see that it's a load of nonsense, actually, lies after lies. And what I find very, very hurtful is that Harry is attacking, through Omid, he's attacking Catherine, because he's always said, until he met Meghan, that she was the sister he always wanted. And you saw them on the balcony roaring with laughter and whispering and being really good pals. Catherine, who came up with the idea of mental health, doing something about that, was very helpful with him when he was struggling. And then to suddenly be extremely rude about her and call her a Stepford wife, and she's only doing half time. Well, Meghan and Harry said they do 1 hour a month. I think you can say that Catherine does far more hours than them, and with an enormous sincerity. Often Harry and Meghan arrive at a charity, are there for 10 minutes, and then leave and then send in their fee. You know, it's just hideous. And I think it's very painful that someone could sink so low.
Yeah, this book in particular, I mean, we're all used to lots and lots of royal books coming out all the time. A lot of them are full of inaccuracies, many of those inaccuracies reasonably harmless. But this book has been described as spiteful, ruthless, horrible, and it is very, very hurtful to everybody in the royal family, apart from, big surprise, the saintly Harry and Meghan. Now, Sarah Vine's got a good piece in the Daily Mail today, Angela. I wonder what you thought about it. What we're hearing, Omid Scobie is busy saying, oh, they're not my friends, I'm not that close to them, but he is seen as their mouthpiece. And what is Sarah suggested, and I think it's a good suggestion, since they are distancing themselves from this book to some extent, it is incumbent upon them, is it not, to denounce this book. If they don't denounce it, they in effect endorse it. And if they endorse it, the chance of any kind of peace and harmony in our royal family is dashed forever.
They can't make excuses for it, actually. I mean, you know, they would have read it. Meghan would have read it. Meghan read Harry's Spare. Meghan has got to be in charge of all these things. And of course, it's absolutely right. My feeling is that if Harry doesn't get the lawyers onto them within a week, onto him within a week, then something ought to be done. I think it's really terrible. He loves taking people to court, and he should do that about things that are not unreal and spiteful. And also, how come about these King to Meghan letters? Has he read them? Does he quote them? I mean, Meghan sued her father and the Mail on Sunday for use extract from his letters. So I think it's even more important than the one about the king should be done. And if she doesn't do that, then she's also should be attacked in whatever verbal way that people can. It's just not right. You can't imagine the king letting anybody else show a private letter, can you? You can imagine Meghan showing it to a friend, who shows it to a friend, who shows it to the writer. I can't even bear saying his name, you know.
But, you know, it's funny, isn't it? The last time Meghan popped up in court and was asked about her contributions to his last book, which she denied any involvement in, it turned out she said, oh, yeah, I forgot that.
I was involved.
I briefed an aide who then must have told him. So, oh, come on, Meghan, we know. But, I mean, this book is called Endgame, and what he is trying to suggest is somehow the royal family is in turmoil, it's falling apart, it's not going to survive all the pressure. And I almost feel like he's hoping his book is going to push them over the edge of the cliff. But it's fantasy land, isn't it? I don't think this necessarily harms the royal family at all. If anything, it's the end game for Harry and Meghan.
I think it's the end game for him too, the author. I don't think anybody would want to read a third book like that. And I think that the public are feeling enormous sympathy because the royal family is at the moment very popular. The King, Camilla, William and Catherine, and the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh are all very popular. They're working hard, they're smiling, they're working together, they combine colours that will work and they chat away. And I think that people feel sorry. Why would you be pleased that that's happened? There's probably a small minority who feel let's get rid of them, but it's not as simple as that, is it? And the majority of us, if we all walked, that's the thing at the moment, isn't it? Walk through the streets and shout what you want. If we all got people to walk through the streets and shout about the royal family, they'd cheer them on. They wouldn't try and get rid of them.
As a fellow journalist, Angela, I don't know what you think about this, but I've read all the stories in the papers, you know, the extracts, etc., and I've even flicked through the book itself. Look, if this guy Scobie is really talking to Harry and Meghan every single day. What surprised me about this book is this. Nothing in it seems at all new. It's a rehash of stuff we've read over the past 3 turbulent years. And frankly, it's what we call in the business a cuts job. It really is not a particularly polished book, I don't think. I don't think it's got anything new to tell us. It's a rehash of what we've already known. And I think it was the New York Times described its writing style as a cross between a press release and ChatGPT, you know. So,
I think it's much nastier, that's the thing. And I think that people do have a soul and do feel uncomfortable and sad if people attack them like that, particularly if, 5 years ago they loved Harry. All this stuff in the book is within Meghan's time. And that's one of the things that I think we should all be very careful of, that she is a very determined woman. She wanted to help the Queen Elizabeth, the late Queen Elizabeth, modernize the royal family, felt she could do it very well, of course, and was furious when she was told to walk behind Catherine and William. And she's got it inside her that she's got to win. And she's trying everything. It's getting worse and worse. Even the alleged phone call that Harry made to his father said he'd love to come for Christmas. And Meghan's had a very pleasant chat with him too. Come on, it's just...
Doesn't ring true, does it? Doesn't ring true.
No, it doesn't. There's so many things that cross over each other, and the person hasn't cared. Not the normal, as you know, a normal journalist will get things checked and checked, phone up, find out. And, loads and loads of people, along with Piers Morgan, said, I haven't done that. I've never spoken to Queen Camilla, on the phone, and or even seen her and gone up to her and talked to her. So, and other people have done the same thing. I haven't looked to see if I'm in there, but I think I am. If I am, I'm going to get a horrible review, but never mind. I think it's just disgusting. And it's just written to be nasty.
I mean, Angela, can you spill the tea a bit here? Because, I mean, could anyone have anticipated quite how toxic this woman was going to be when she started dating Harry? Could anyone have predicted this fallout that has essentially cleaved a family in two, one side actually moving all the way back to America, constant slagging them off the royals in the press? Is that why, perhaps, William and Kate didn't particularly like her when she was first on the scene?
Can I just add a corollary there, Angela? We should point out, Angela knows Harry very well. She wrote his biography, spent a lot of time with him. And what has happened to him?
Right.
What has Meghan done to him?
Well, this is only things I can say now, and I haven't been able to say really. When I was with them when she was around, before they got engaged, but when they went on their first engagement, and I went round, which Harry had taken me around the same place in Nottingham, and I thought to myself, help. What is he in for? She's a nightmare. She was pushing ahead to talk to people, but she didn't know anybody. She was just there, and you'd think it's wonderful that she could be able to speak to people in the roads and say hello and nice and pick up the glove they've dropped and give them some water, all that sort of stuff. But actually, she was pushing herself forward in a way that was astonishing. And I wrote in the last chapter of the book, come on, Harry, you know, take it back. You're strong. You can do it. And the publisher, I wrote a bit stronger than that, and the publisher said, we can't say this, so they took it out. But I think I was ahead in 2018 because you could just see it, you can feel it.
What's your book called again, Angela?
Conversations with the Prince.
There you go. Conversations with the Prince. Read Angela Levin, great author.
Get that one.
Excellent interview. Thank you very much, Angela. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.